The old folks of Barrio San Roque spoke of a creature, the Tikbalang, half man, half horse. They would gather around the fire, their faces lit by the flickering flames, and recount tales of encounters with this mythical being. It lured travelers astray, trapping them in the forest. The Tikbalang was said to play tricks on those who wandered too far, leading them in circles until they were hopelessly lost.
Superstitions are for the old, he thought. Miguel couldn't understand why anyone would believe in such nonsense in this day and age.
Miguel scoffed. He was a city boy, new to his grandfather's village. The stories seemed like relics of a bygone era, irrelevant to his modern life. He, with his phone and GPS, was above all that, or so he believed. Technology, he thought, was his safeguard against the unknown.
I'm above all that. These old tales can't touch me.
One humid afternoon, Miguel decided to explore. The air was thick and heavy, but he felt a thrill at the thought of adventure. Ignoring his grandfather's warnings, he ventured into the woods bordering the rice fields. The forest seemed inviting, a green labyrinth waiting to be explored. He laughed, feeling adventurous. The air grew thick with the smell of earth and unknown things. Every step he took seemed to echo with the whispers of the forest. The forest seemed to swallow the sunlight. Still, Miguel walked on, his confidence unshaken. He felt invincible, as if nothing could harm him. He was a man of science, not superstition. Facts and logic were his guiding stars.
I'm a man of science, not superstition. These woods hold no power over me.
The path, clear at first, faded into a maze of vines and giant trees. The deeper Miguel ventured, the more the forest seemed to close in around him. The once familiar trail, now a labyrinth of nature's design. Shadows stretched, twisting familiar shapes into monsters. The trees, gnarled and ancient, seemed to whisper secrets, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The silence was broken only by the rustle of leaves and the frantic chirping of unseen creatures. Every sound seemed amplified, echoing through the dense foliage, making Miguel's heart race with every step.
This place is eerie. It's like the forest is alive watching me.
Miguel felt a prickle of unease. He checked his phone, hoping for a lifeline, a connection to the outside world. No signal. He tried to retrace his steps, but everything looked the same. The trees, indistinguishable from one another, formed an impenetrable wall of green. Panic began to gnaw at the edges of his arrogance. He pushed on, hoping to find the path. Each step felt heavier, the weight of the forest pressing down on him. Each rustle of leaves made him spin around, his heart pounding against his ribs. The forest seemed to be playing tricks on him, every sound a potential threat. The sun, a hazy memory through the thick canopy, dipped lower. The light, once a comforting guide, now cast eerie shadows that danced menacingly. Twilight painted the forest in shades of purple and blood orange. Miguel quickened his pace, fear lending speed to his steps. He was thoroughly lost. The realization hit him like a cold wave, chilling him to the bone.
I can't be lost, can I? This can't be happening. I need to find a way out, and fast.
Then he saw it. A towering figure at the edge of his vision, barely discernible through the thick, oppressive darkness of the forest. It stepped into a moonbeam, its form as grotesque as the whispered tales that had haunted his childhood. The Tikbalang, a creature of nightmares, was real. The creature was taller than a man, with the muscular body of a horse, its sinewy form rippling with unnatural strength. Its limbs were twisted, ending in hooves that scraped the forest floor with a sound that sent chills down his spine. Each step it took seemed to echo with a sinister intent. But it was the head that chilled Miguel to the bone. A grotesque horse's head, elongated and skeletal, sat atop its human body.
No, it can't be. This can't be real.
The eyes, burning like hot coals, stared straight at him, piercing through the darkness and into his very soul. They seemed to hold a malevolent intelligence, as if the creature was toying with him. A low, guttural laugh echoed through the trees, sending shivers down Miguel's spine. He tried to run, but his legs felt like lead, as if the forest itself was conspiring to keep him there. He was frozen in place, trapped by fear and the hypnotic gaze of the Tikbalang. His mind raced, but his body refused to obey.
Welcome, traveler. The voice was deep and resonant, filled with an eerie calm that belied the terror of the situation.
I can't move. His voice was barely a whisper, choked with fear.
He was frozen in place, trapped by fear and the hypnotic gaze of the Tikbalang. The forest seemed to close in around him, the shadows deepening as the creature took a step closer.